In Warhammer 40,000, few things are more feared than the shriek of plasma fire. Hotter than a star's core, unstable, deadly to both enemy and wielder. And no unit embodies this power more than the Hellblasters Primaris Marines armed with plasma weapons designed to burn through anything. Welcome back to Brush and Blood, where I paint Warhammer miniatures while diving into stories of lore, history, and conspiracy. Today I'm painting a squad of Hellblasters, the plasma specialists of the Primaris Space Marines. And while I layer their glowing coils, we'll explore the history of plasma weapons in 40K, why they're both a blessing and a curse, and how real-world science is inching closer to weapons that look just as terrifying.
Quick disclaimer before we dive in, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Some of the facts, stories, or lore may not be 100% accurate, and that's okay. The goal here isn't to be a perfect Warhammer encyclopedia, it's just to share some fun stories, cool bits of history, and have something entertaining to listen to while I paint. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Who are the Hellblasters? The Hellblasters are fire support specialist squads of Primaris Marines armed with plasma incinerators. Their role is simple: erase armored targets. Enemy tanks, monstrous Xenos, or even other Astartes melt under their fire. But plasma isn't safe. Overcharging these weapons risks catastrophic failure, venting energy that can vaporize the wielder as easily as the enemy. Hellblasters accept this risk as part of their duty. To carry a plasma gun is to gamble your life every time you pull the trigger. In many ways, Hellblasters are the anti-tank EAMs of the Imperium, like modern soldiers carrying javelin missile launchers, recoilless rifles, or flamethrowers. These weapons hit far above the weight of a single infantryman. They can bring down tanks, fortifications, or entire squads in one shot. But they also come with risks: heavy weight, limited ammo, and sometimes a danger to the operator. Think of the World War II flamethrower, devastating in close quarters. But if the tank on the operator's back was hit, it could explode, killing him instantly. That's the same gamble Hellblasters take with plasma. Incredible power, bought with incredible risk. Hellblasters, at solace on the tomb world of Solace. A squad of Hellblasters stood against a Necron phalanx of Lychguard warriors clad in living metal. Bolter fire bounced off their shields. Even crack missiles only staggered them. Then the Hellblasters opened fire. Plasma rounds howled across the field, each shot burning so hot that Necron armor simply melted away. But the price was high. Two Hellblasters overloaded their coils, plasma venting back into their armor. They fell where they stood, martyrs of their own weapons. It was a victory, but one bought with the same fire that consumed its wielders. Hellblasters are not subtle. Where they appear, battlefields change in an instant. Entire armored columns, monstrous Xenos, and traitor champions have all fallen to their plasma fire. But their victories are always edged with sacrifice. During the siege of Drakaasi, Hellblasters melted heretical Baneblades and Rust tanks, saving the Forge world but losing half the squad to overheats. On Calderis, one squad held a breach for 6 hours against Tyranids, firing until only 2 Marines remained alive among mountains of charred Xenos. And on the world of Eudoros, their plasma volleys dropped a Chaos Knight, its death blast killing many Hellblasters who brought it down. Hellblasters win battles no other squad could, but their victories are always edged with sacrifice. Real-world parallel. Experimental weapons at a cost plasma weapons don't exist on modern battlefields, not yet. But plasma is real. Superheated gas, hotter than stars, held in magnetic fields. We use it in fusion research. In factories, plasma cutters slice steel. Scientists dream of using it as a weapon, but reality is unstable, dangerous, and often turns on its wielder. In history, experimental weapons have often been as dangerous to their users as to the enemy. Take the World War II Panzerfaust, a German single-shot anti-tank weapon. It could kill a tank with one shot, but it fired with such backblast that soldiers sometimes burned themselves or nearby comrades. Many young conscripts who used it didn't live long enough to fire a second, or the early flamethrower operators in World War I and II. Their weapons were devastating in bunkers and trenches, but if an enemy bullet struck the fuel tank on their back, it exploded in a fireball, killing the user instantly. Entire squads were wiped out this way, martyrs to their own weapon. These stories echo the Hellblasters. Soldiers given incredible power, but forced to accept that the weapon they carried might consume them. In both worlds, it's the same truth. Sometimes, the deadliest weapons ask the highest price from their own side. Military experiments. Militaries have flirted with the idea of plasma and directed energy weapons for decades. The US Navy's laser cannons have already been mounted on ships, capable of burning drones and small boats out of the sky with beams of light. The US Army tested microwave weapons designed to disable electronics' invisible firepower that shuts down machines instead of killing people. There were even proposals for plasma rifles experimental tech that fired ionized gas at short range. In reality, they overheated, lost containment, and were more dangerous to the user than the enemy, much like a Hellblaster's incinerator on overcharge. Accidents and costs. But here's the danger. Just like in Warhammer, these experiments sometimes hurt their own operators. Railguns tested at sea burned through their own barrels after only a handful of shots. Experimental plasma arcs melted containment fields and scorched lab technicians. It's the same risk Hellblasters face every time they overcharge. The weapon might destroy them first. Do you fire safely and do little, or do you flip to overcharge, risking your life for devastating power? That gamble defines the Hellblaster. They don't hesitate. They accept death as the price of victory. To them, martyrdom is not failure, it's duty. A fire. But their victories are always edged with sacrifice. The Siege of Drakasi. When Chaos traders seized the Forge world of Drakasi, they brought captured Lemon Rust tanks and heretical Baneblades to hold the line. The Primaris forces sent in Hellblasters. From the cover of shattered manufactorums, they unleashed volley after volley of overcharged plasma. Turrets melted, hulls sagged like wax, and even the Baneblades buckled under the heat. But 5 Marines fell to venting coils, their weapons exploding in bursts of sunfire. The Forge world was saved, yet every victory was written in fire and loss. The Tomb World of Solace. On Solace, a Necron phalanx of Lichguard advanced like a living wall. Bolters rattled uselessly. Crack missiles cracked, but did not kill. The Hellblasters fired, plasma howling through the air. Necron shields glowed, then disintegrated under the heat. Lichguard fell in heaps, their living metal bubbling. But 2 Marines burned alive as their weapons overloaded. The squad stood victorious, but scarred. 12. The Tyrannid Swarm at Calderis. During the tyrannic incursions on Calderis, a single Hellblaster squad held a breach against endless Tyrannids. Termagants boiled across the ruins, Carnifexes bellowed in the distance. The Hellblasters fired until their weapons screamed, plasma coils cracking from overuse. One by one, the Marines fell to heat, exhaustion, and overload. When reinforcements arrived 6 hours later, only 2 Hellblasters still lived, their armor blistered and smoking, but the breach was held. The ground before them was nothing but ash, and Tyrannid corpses stacked like walls. Mystery and conspiracy flavor, and then there are the rumors. Projects whispered about, like HARP in Alaska, an ionospheric research program some claim could manipulate the weather or disrupt electronics worldwide, or Cold War experiments into directed energy weapons that remain classified to this day. Whether fact or fiction, these stories remind us of one thing. Humanity has always dreamed of harnessing the fire of the stars. But the closer we get, the more dangerous it becomes. That's why the Hellblasters feel so real, because their gamble with plasma mirrors our own history of reaching for firepower we might not be ready to control. The temptation of overcharge. In Warhammer, every plasma gunner knows the choice. Fire normally and stay safe, or flip the weapon to overcharge and unleash double the devastation. Overcharge can kill tanks, tear apart daemon engines, or burn monstrous Tyranids into ash. But if the containment field fails, the gun detonates, taking its wielder with it. It's a gamble. The psychology of risk versus reward. And Hellblasters are the Marines who always choose the gamble. Why Marines do it to a normal soldier? That sounds insane. But Space Marines are not normal. They are indoctrinated, conditioned, and spiritually armed to see their own lives as tools of the Emperor's will. Only in death does duty end. The greater lesson. Plasma is a metaphor in Warhammer, and in reality, it asks a question humanity has never stopped asking. Would you trade safety for power? Would you risk everything for one shot that could change the battle, or even the war? The Hellblasters answer with a resounding yes. And in their fire, we see not just destruction, but the cost of chasing ultimate power. Lore Vignette. The Overcharge Gambit. During the Indominus Crusade, the Greyshields fought a chaos incursion on the world of Varathos. A daemon prince of Khorne tore through the Imperial lines, shrugging off bolter fire and even crack missiles. Entire squads fell before its axe. Then came the Hellblasters. 10 Primaris Marines leveled their plasma incinerators. Their sergeant gave the order, overcharge for the Emperor. The first volley lit the battlefield like a miniature sun. Plasma tore through the Daemon Prince's hide, searing its wings to ash. It staggered, roaring in rage. But 3 Hellblasters fell instantly, their coils rupturing, their armor bursting with vented sunfire. The survivors fired again, plasma streams burning hotter and brighter than the air could contain. The Daemon Prince was consumed, banished in a storm of white-blue flame. When silence fell, only 4 Hellblasters remained standing. Half the squad was gone, but so was the monster. Their sacrifice is remembered as the Overcharge Gambit of Varathos, proof that sometimes the only way to win is to risk everything, even your own life, for that one perfect shot. Here's our finished Hellblaster squad warriors who march into battle carrying suns in their hands. They remind us that in the grim darkness of the far future, power always comes with a price, and the Hellblasters embrace that truth. In the next episode of Brush and Blood, we'll leave plasma behind and step into the shadows of the Aeldari, painting a squad of striking scorpions, masters of stealth and ambush. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss it. And tell me in the comments, on the tabletop, do you always overcharge your plasma weapons or play it safe? I always do the overcharge. And if they fail the hazard check, they have a chance to shoot again. It's worth the risk, I think. Thank you, and see you guys soon. Bye.